Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. So I've made a video for you guys on how to unwind and decompress from your long day. So this is perfect if you just want to help stretch out the body. Pretty passive poses, nothing too crazy. So we are going to use a lot of props in this class. We want to feel nice and supported, so props are really amazing for allowing the body to soften and get us out of that flight or fight mode. So I'm going to use a couple pillows. That's really nice to help us feel supported. You could also use a bolster if you have a bolster. We're going to use blankets if you want to use blankets, yoga blocks. Just lots of props. Make sure you feel nice and supported. Pillows, I would say, are the most important, and maybe a blanket so you can roll up to sit on. So I'll let you just grab all those things and then we'll get started. So let's come to a comfortable seated position. I'm sitting on a yoga block. You could sit on a pillow or however you feel comfortable. So come to a seated position. We just want a really nice tall spine. Roll the shoulders down away from your ears. And let's close the eyes. So let's take a couple deep breaths here. Just inhale and try to let everything go. Let the day go. Let your to-do list go. Let's do that again. So we're going to come to an exercise where we are counting our breaths. And what we want to do to unwind the body is to actually hold our exhale for a longer period of time. So I'll give you an example. Let's say my breath is about 4 counts on the inhale. So we're going to inhale for 4. Then we're going to hold the breath for 4. And then we're going to exhale for 6. So do whatever feels comfortable for you. Maybe your inhale is 3, then your exhale might be 5. Maybe your inhale is 5, maybe your exhale would be 7 or 8. Don't think too hard about this, just the main point is we want that exhalation to be longer than the inhale. And we do want to hold our breath in between. So let's try this. Inhale, count the breath, hold, using that same number. And now exhale for a little bit longer. Let's do this a couple more times. Counting that inhale. Counting the pause. And counting and extending that exhale. One more time. You can return your breath to normal now. So this just helps calm the body. Whenever we extend our exhale, we're just allowing the nervous system to calm down. You could start to blink the eyes open. All right, let's start with some neck stretches. So let's bring our right ear over to our right shoulder. So we're just releasing the neck, release the shoulders. You could stay like this. If you want to intensify this stretch, you could clasp your fingers behind your back, and we're going to bring our fist over to the right as well. So we're really creating a deep opening in through the whole left side of the neck. You may even feel a nice little opening through the shoulder too. Let's take one more breath. And now we're going to take the left ear to the left shoulder. And if that was okay for your neck, you could continue to have your hands clasped and bring your hands over to the left. Again, if this ever is too much, just release the hands. Have the hands on your knees if you like, or wherever you're comfortable. We're here for 2 more breaths. And you can start to come back. So we're going to turn and sit in a staff pose. So I'm going to remove my block. You decide whatever is comfortable for you. So we're going to sit with our legs extended out in front of us. Spine is nice and tall. Let's take a breath here. And we're going to start to move to a forward fold. But again, we want a nice supported forward fold. So let's take our pillows. I'm going to place my pillows just on my thighs, and I'm going to use both of them because I want this nice and soft. And then on our inhale, lift up, exhale, start to fold forward. And allow your hands to just come to the mat. They could rest on your legs or rest on the pillow. You could have one cheek down. Feeling the low back starting to open. The back of the hamstrings are starting to open. Now if you're resting on one cheek, just turn to rest on the other cheek, just so we're nice and balanced. Maybe as you turn, you notice you can come a little further down. Let's just take one more breath. And we're going to start to come up. From here, we're going to move to a butterfly pose. So let's take the pillows off to the side. Bring your feet back down to the floor. Knees are pointed up. And then we're just going to allow the knees to drop to either side. You could sit up nice and tall, or you could start to fold forward. You could use a pillow here again, placing the pillow down and resting. I like to use a yoga block, something maybe a little more sturdy. Could rest your head. Now, if this ever feels like a lot on the knees, you could also place something under the knees, like a pillow. And we're just going to rest in this pose. Let's take a few more breaths. Keep releasing. Allow your head to drop, release the neck. Just allow the back of the neck to open here. Let's take one more breath. And then we're going to slowly make our way back up. Remove your pillows or your block. And then we're just going to help the knees back together. Okay. From here, we're going to move down to a tabletop position. So, let's just move my pillows. So our wrists are right underneath the shoulders and our knees are right underneath the hips. So from here we're coming to a melted heart pose. So we want our hips to stay above the knees, so try not to go back as much. And we're going to bring the hands forward and coming down onto our elbows. Now I like to use a block, or again you could use a pillow here. So our elbows are on the pillow and our head is coming towards the mat. So you're going to feel this really deep opening in through the shoulders. Allow your chest to keep falling towards the ground. Keep softening. And again, if this is ever too much, you can always use 2 pillows. Keep breathing, keep softening. We're going to take one more breath here. And then let's slowly start to come back. Whenever we leave these poses, when we've been holding them for a while, just be really gentle with yourself. Take some time coming out. From here, we're going to move to a child's pose. So let's take the knees about mat width apart. And you can take your pillow again if you want something more comfortable and more supported to lie on. We're just going to take the hands out in front, drop the chest down. So your body is sinking down towards the mat. Hips are getting closer and closer to the heels. Your forehead is going to be supported by the pillow or by the mat. We're going to take 3 full breaths here, so really just sink in. So let's add a side bend to our child's pose. We're just going to move the pillow off to the side and let's walk the hands out to the right. Drop the chest down. See if you can press into your left hand and pull your left hip back. So we're really opening this whole left side, allowing lots of space. Keep breathing, keep dropping down. Let's take one more breath. And now let's walk the hands back through center and then out to the left. And drop down. Again, you can press in through your right hand. Pull back on your right hip. Keep breathing, keep softening. Let's take one more breath. And let's start to come up. Coming up slowly. So from here we're going to move to a pose called cat pulling its tail. So let's come forward, back to tabletop, and then come through a modified plank and bring your body all the way down to the mat. Bring your arms out in front of you, and let's roll open to the left. So you could stay like this. You could lift up onto your forearm if you like too. Now we're going to bring our left foot straight in front of us, and our right knee is going to bend. Now you could stay here, or you could reach for that right foot. Again, if it's not very comfortable on the wrist, just lay the head down, just lie on your arm. So we want to pull this foot towards us so that we're opening up through the quad. And as you twist a little bit, you might also find an opening in through the right hip. Keep breathing, keep softening. We want to be taking nice full breaths. Let's take one more breath, and let's start to softly release the back foot. Bring your left leg back on top, and we're going to roll back to our belly. So hands are in front of us again, and we're going to move to the second side. So from here we're going to start to roll open to the right. I'm just going to move my pillows. Okay. Now our right leg is going to come straight out, and our left leg is going to start to bend. You could stay right here. This is perfect. Or maybe you can grab a hold of that left foot and just start to draw it in towards you, opening up through that quad and through the whole right leg. You might feel that on the outer side of the leg. Keep breathing. Let's take one more full breath here. And let's start to release and roll forward back to our belly. So let's take our hands under our shoulders and press back to a tabletop. So in our tabletop, we're going to move to deer pose. Let's just sit the right hip down. And we're going to swing the legs around, bringing our right shin parallel with the short edge of the mat, and our left shin is parallel with the long edge of the mat. Now you could stay here, or you could start to fold forward. And again, you can use these pillows to help support you. Make sure you're flexing your right foot to help protect the knee. So feeling our right hip starting to soften, continuing to flex the right foot. Keep breathing. We're going to take 2 more breaths. And then we're going to start to make our way up. And let's switch sides. So bring that leg back in. You could come through tabletop and just bring the left hip down. So for this side, our left shin is parallel to the short edge. Right shin is parallel to the long edge of the mat. And again, you can use your pillows or whatever you like in this pose. And we're just going to come forward. Make sure you're flexing your left foot. And see if you can come to your breath. See if you can watch the inhalations. See if you can notice the exhales. See if you can focus on the breath. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. And very gently, let's start to make our way up. So we're going to do a opener for our hip. So we're basically going to be lying on our pillows. So if you want a very gentle opening, just lie on 1 pillow. If you want to try 2, you could try 2, and then you can always adjust from there. So we're going to place our right hip on the pillows, and we're going to extend the legs, so we're opening to the left side, arms extend out, and you could use your left hand as a little bit of support here. You're going to feel a really deep opening along this whole left hip. Just breathe. We have 3 more breaths here. Now let's start to make our way up. And we're going to move to the other side. So we're just basically resting our left hip now on the pillows. Legs come out straight. Arms come out straight. You could use your right hand as a bit of support. See if you can notice this whole side body opening. Notice the support from the pillows. Feeling safe here. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then let's gently start to make our way back. You could come back to a tabletop position. And again, let's move our pillows out of the way. From here, we're going to do a spinal twist. So let's lie all the way down to our backs. Hugging your knees in. Now let's take the arms out. You could cactus the arms. Allow the knees to drop over to the left. Your gaze could come to the right. Let's take one more breath. And then we're going to come out of this twist and drop the knees over to the right this time. Gaze can come to the left. Allowing your body to take all the benefits from this detoxifying twist. Let's take one more breath. We'll bring the knees back up. Give your knees a little squeeze. And then we're going to come to Savasana. Now you could take a traditional Savasana, or if you'd like to do a little bit of a chest opener and a heart opener, I'm going to get you to lie on those pillows. So you can place these just behind you. You can use one or two. Two will be a little bit more intense. So if you want a more gentle opening, I would just do one pillow. And we're going to have the pillows about a few inches away. So we want a little bit of space. Lie back. Your head is going to be on the pillows. And just allow your body to sink in. Allow the body to open. Your arms could be at your side, or sometimes I like to have my arms open so that the shoulders start to release. And let's come back to this breath that we had at the beginning of class. So, counting our breaths. Let's take the inhale. Again, maybe it's to 4. Now we're going to pause for that same amount of time. And then on the exhale, let's release the breath and extend the breath a little bit longer. Now just come to your regular breath. Can you give yourself and your body the same love and compassion that you give to everybody else? We're going to gently start to wake up the body. So you could add a little bit of movement into the fingers, into the toes. Maybe we take a nice stretch overhead. And we're going to roll to one side. Maybe just rolling off those pillows. And then eventually make your way back to a seated position. Let's keep the eyes closed. Take a couple breaths and just notice how you feel now. Notice how this practice has allowed a little more space in the body and maybe has been a little more relaxing for you. Starting to blink the eyes open. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you feel a lot more grounded and a lot more relaxed. All right. See you next time. Namaste.